Okay, so good morning. Basically, right now, yeah. One thing I was able to do this morning I was able to like curate the stuff I'm using on my skincare routine. So basically, just go out there because I had to watch like quite a number of videos, right, for me to get like a skincare routine. But let me take a zoom out. Let me remember. So I was supposed to talk about the story of the policeman that happened 2 days ago when they were coming back from the African knockout match or something. But that's talk for another day. So let's. I was thinking, right? Why would I want to be a model? What do I stand to be? To what do I stand to gain if I choose to be a model? And I kind of realized that it's not about really being a model per se, but it's about rearranging my life in such a way that I end up looking close to a model. What would I have achieved by then? My habits would have gotten healthier. Would be looking more attractive, and hey, I can show people what to do. At the same time, I'm trying to do it in a place that does not compromise my health, which is the main thing. So I'm majorly after ingredients because I'm a firm believer that anything I put on my skin goes into me. One. Two is if I try to walk like a model, I take my looks like a model. It will enforce that I take myself much more serious, which of I think I have let myself slack. I cannot dress anyhow, so I think over time I'll need a wardrobe overhaul. Still simple clothes, but wardrobe overhaul is to find something that fits me right. Experiment in terms of will I go with cargo pants? Will I just go all black? Will I go with slim jeans? Will I go with thick jeans? But basically, it has to show that it has to bring out a part of me that I think I really want to portray. So a couple of things that's why I say, you know what, even though I say fuck looks maxing, but yes, you have to get your looks up to a point where you feel confident. But at the same time, it shouldn't make you feel like one, without looks, you're nothing. Two, maximize your person more than your looks. What that means is you are you are interesting, you know about women, you have game, you have confidence because your looks maximum will attract them to you, right? But when if you're attracting people and people are not staying, it means you have a character problem. Something is off somewhere. But if people are staying with you, but you're not attracting new people, it's the vice versa. Now, two of them are equally important. Also, so why would I want to look like a, why would I want to live like a model? Is to make me more attractive, right? And then the whole idea is, but I'm not really after it for the pay, right? Because I think I suspect that if you belong to a modeling agency, they might tell you to do things that you don't want to do. They might persuade you, right? And I like to be in that space where I do what the fuck I want to do. So if I happen to live that life like a model, right? I document that journey as a model. Oh, I'm trying out this new skincare routine. These are the things that I'm going to be using: coconut oil, jojoba, and everything. And like, you know what? I'll be updating my results in terms of even the body, right? Because I'll be aimed more towards toned workouts more than I'll be aimed towards toning up rather than building muscles. I'll build muscles quite alright, but I wouldn't look to expand them, but look to like make them much more defined and everything. Show progress. Maybe hey, somebody might say, you know what, we like your stuff. Come and model for us. Obviously, I'll get paid, right? But if you think that if something that I don't believe in, for example, I will not model for an alcohol brand. I will not model for a club. I could model for a gym. I could model for a gym wear. I could model for something that's natural, organic, something that I wouldn't take for myself. I really should not do it, right? So I see people taking deals from different companies. Like I said, if I don't do it, because I have dreams that gyms have come to meet me, fight clubs have come to meet me, right? And like I said, you get the gist. Also, knowing how to fight, being able to tell other men to be able to go out there and tell them how to fight. Yeah, just random images coming to mind. But back to it is, after making my research, right? Like I think I spent quite an amount of time, right? So now, a couple of things I know that I will be getting: honey, right? Turmeric, rose water green tea, coconut oil, aloe vera, olive oil. Those are things that I will be buying. I'll try to fix up my diet to have more of protein, fruit, veggies. Because I'm still keeping meat there. Plus reducing my carbs, like reducing like crazy. Um, this is just for skincare. I'm going into diet. I'm going into diet and other things very soon. Right. Let me see. Rose water. Then I think the next one now is about replacing my toothpaste, replacing all of these other aspects that I feel like are just not giving me what I want, right? So I'll try to like achieve it, show people my results if it works, right? So the whole idea is to adjust my lifestyle. It's not making my focus. What that means is, hey, maybe I can spend extra 20 minutes after having my bath to fix up these things. Extra 20 to 30, good. I can have extra 20 to 30, right? Before I go to bed, still good. But the point is that I am putting in that consistent effort. So right now there's this guy who I've been watching it lately, but I think he's a model. His approach to all this modeling stuff is taking care of your gut health, taking care of the things that you eat. You should eat as healthy as you can. At the same time, I'm trying to get my testosterone to be as good as it should be, and then becoming him. Every other thing will just be for me to relax after all. Then I'll be going to buy those things today at the store because I think I have to get them in bits, right? Instead of going all out and then becoming broke. I just get the ones that I feel are so necessary, right? The oils, the rose water, later aloe vera, later turmeric. Well, the point is, over time, I'll begin to stack it, see my results, show my results in terms of, yeah, so right now let me just go ahead and watch. I'll give you feedback. These are the natural stuff I'll be doing. Also, I was also doing this coconut oil pulling stuff where you put some coconut oil in your mouth, using like mouthwash, right? I think it should have happened before or after brushing. Maybe after brushing to like take care of some bacteria, and at the same time, I also heard that they help with cavities, right? It's a very crazy word. So speaking of a very crazy word, something blew my mind, right? I had this pharmacist friend who said that the things she puts on her skin don't get to her bloodstream. I mean, I'm like, are you sure? A pharmacist. Guess what? The person's sister is a medical doctor, right? I don't know, but I forgot to ask the sister, but it's quite crazy. So let's see. Let me watch this couple of videos, right? Next is becoming him, then self maximizing, then I head to the store, get something to eat later, and call it a day. So yeah, thank you. Talk to you soon. The cable.
It is that small. It is a first. When you just look at the size, say it is small. Because the guy was asking, what is it with that camera?
Okay, that there were lots now that day.
Yeah,
There were plenty.
okay, there are plenty.
Like four. Is it DJI? One said DJI. I said no. Osmo. I said, oh sorry. Yes, it's DJI. It's a red glove. I don't wear gloves. No matter how what they call it, how good they are, they beat. Because they can't grab me. This pipe I think I put here, it makes the stuff heavy like mad. Makes the skipping rope heavy. My back has been paining me like weary. Fuck. Come down there use dumbbell skip. This was. And I said he didn't get the normal pipe. He got the what happened? I didn't skip it. I didn't come close now. Wait. I don't know why, sha, but guys, people wait. As in, like, why would they drop? If I drop, if I drop, I'm in problem. I have more people in my weight in the lesser class than above me. So it's tricky because if I go to the last class now, it can be like 20 guys and they will all fight to find positions. If I see 4 guys in my weight class, at least it's 2 fights. I go there. I just came out very, very wrong. And the boxing gym, they're saying that it's like
Who goes Chinese football?
but I rarely hear it
He does not really.
because
The way we go-
he does not really send.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the same thing. Now, she said she hasn't defined mention every day with herself.
I say
Like, she don't just like the papa for that place. Because it's always, the way that people abuse or that they are doing this wrong, there's a way we will not correct them. But once you just say, and I'm thinking they do this rubbish,
Akum, what are you doing now? Akum, chest up, Akum.
the guy going to be like, say, now leave me there. Like, yo. So that's why every other person, all those coming, they just like shoot and say, they understand how it is. That is how it's supposed to be. Because how you go to coach your people, what they do anyhow. So every other person for them will tell the girl, so many girls don't worry. She's always crying every time.
Yes, sir.
Oh, look at that. One guy. You know, see, you super miss that because you know,
Who's that?
super miss.
Uh-huh.
You know, used to do with that his own son too. He used to leave that baby girl too. That one that baby. That his own son too. You know, used to take it easy with him.
Why we take this easy with him?
No, it's not that take it easy. But like, if other people are doing something, there's a way we say you are doing like that. But if it's not child, what are you doing? Let's say we fear. Let's say we fear. They will not regret saying my mama be coach.
It's like pastor's son who cannot pray. It's just like he's a wine man of God.
Well, that's what we do like pass.
He is quiet.
It's like that, yeah. I'm not sure that can be not 3 years. Very small. Yeah, white attire. I like that girl. I like this man. Although if you continue like that, you will turn pro.
Big guy. How many did he continue? I said you shouldn't stop now. You shouldn't stop. I told you don't stop this one.
God bless you. Out And now, open that place. Is it on my head to hang before I surgery? Fast now.
Okay.
Put this on my shirt. That part. First thing here now.
Okay.
Shortest distance, my guy. Okay. Hello.
Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom.
Don't come your elbow.
Okay.
And then you
Hey, Bella, you.
me like that.
Again. Pressure.
Bam. No, come on.
Okay.
You see my head there.
Why are you punching?
Bam, bam. See me.
Sir, you are just. Okay.
Understand?
Okay.
Or if you even use your body good,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
not
Okay. That's good.
Oh, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom, let's go. Let's go. Oh, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Oh, boom. Oh! Go, go, oh! Go, oh, oh! Go, 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 go,
Wait,
go, go, go.
is there extreme force?
Yeah, you can go boss now. Yeah. Boom, boom. Go.
Wait, hold on. The force is too much. Now I'm bringing my elbow to deflect your punch.
The first one is too much.
No, it's too much.
It's too much.
It's actually too much. That's how you got to him.
You go chop him.
Sorry? No, that's how you got to him. I've been this zone since now. If your punch is not heavy, if you don't reach him.
Watch how this man dey punch. Maybe the way you step dey punch.
Yours is ridiculously heavy. I've been showing you since.
Punch, he dey na the intensity.
If it's not heavy, if you don't meet him,
waiting.
it be time. No. When I took my elbow up, wait, hold on. I was managing your punch, try to deflect. But it's too much now.
They'll pull your elbow like this. No.
Okay, no, can you come there? No, come here. That's what I'm talking about.
Let's go.
So,
Let's go.
Máa ṣe ìdí méjì báyẹn. Ó máa wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ máa dẹ́ni máa wá yìí. No. Kí ló wà tẹ́lẹ̀ náà? Ó máa wà ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni máa wà ń bì.
And change only.
Not na him make us change.
And I know say na this one work before. This one now you use the second one work. Because this third round.
The one na the other leg. Now it's face this side. So which hand I go use?
right now.
Now you go enter.
And second two.
Okay.
Are you ready? It's not going to reach you.
Yeah, you try to.
Now I'll check it out. I'll check it out. Méjì eléyìí o. Olùwọ́pọ̀ mẹ́ta o. Mẹ́ta yẹn olùwọ́pọ̀ o. Mẹ́ta yẹn olùwọ́pọ̀. Mẹ́ta yẹn olùwọ́pọ̀ o.
Body, sleep back. You give me right. I'll spend 1 2 again. That's it.
Okay, one. Okay, one. Okay.
Body. Okay, wait. Oh yeah, 1 2. Oh yeah, body.
Body.
One body. This way. Down. Spin back. Right.
Okay.
1 2 come.
Okay.
You understand?
1 2. Body. Back. Right.
1 2.
Okay.
You understand now? Now
Yeah.
you are going to punch me now.
Okay. 1 2.
Body. Spin back. Right. No. Now I go punch right.
Okay.
I will spin back there. You go punch 1 2.
Okay. Let me say.
For the opposition, I just get only 1 2.
Okay. How many people? 3 of us. Have 2.
See him.
1, 2.
See am now.
Okay.
That's all. Just see am now.
It's light tap now. Don't be heavy punch.
Ìṣẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àtàwọn yẹn ló tún náà.
Right now. 1, 2.
Yes, we are set. Check it. Let's go. There we go. Let's go. 1, 2, body.
Okay.
Let's go.
Down.
Sorry?
Down.
Jab? Yeah. Just jab. Okay.
We are wash. Hey, everybody look here. We are go. Everyone do measure. We are wash it. Wash. Go.
1, 2, yeah.
1, 2. Watch
Okay.
it now. Continue.
So that's what I do for you and what you do for me.
Same. I see. Oh yeah. One, two, body. You go. 1, 2, body. There you go. 1, 2, body. Go. Yeah. Okay. Jab. Okay. Yeah. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay. Yeah. 1, 2. 2, 1, 2.
Let me start.
Okay. Go like this now. One person, 2 people. Yeah. So now yeah. Again, you just play with me now. It's not with me. Yeah. And two. So, okay, me. So, okay.
Let's go.
Okay, so okay. No, you. Yeah. Yeah, Abi. Okay.
Start for me.
Okay, sorry, I forgot. Hey, sorry. Sorry, slip that. Okay, sorry. Two, one. To do what? Okay, the two. Ajabas.
Just take the rush.
Okay. One, two. One. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I sleep there.
Okay, so basically retiring for the day. Man, I was just today was just basically me working on clients' work after boxing, right? I worked on clients' work. I went for a walk. I tried to get some skincare products, but everything that's out there is super. What's that word? Processed. And I'm trying to go off processed things. So the only thing I think I got today was coconut oil. Other coconut oil. I think the next thing I'll be getting is some. I couldn't get charcoal soap. I'll get that later. I couldn't get rose water. So charcoal soap, rose water, aloe vera, and olive oil are the only things that are left for me to get. The rest, they'll come in. They'll come in very soon. You know, very soon. Oh, I was supposed to even buy green tea, but I also bought brown sugar to like try out. I really haven't used sugar in a while. And my sugars mostly last me like 3 to like 6 months. So let's see how it is. But this sugar feels different though. They call it they claim it's natural sugar from actual sugar cane, not like the refined sugar. But it is way sweeter than the refined sugar, but that's by the way. I was just thinking about how so a lot of rubbish happened today, right? Which I'm not entirely sure you would understand. But let me give you a backstory. There's this particular coach that I could have started training boxing with until I met this other coach. So if you followed my story, I can't remember the particular episode. I went to meet a boxing coach. He gave me his price. He gave me his information. Quite alright. But I couldn't just work with his price. Then I went somewhere else, which is our current boxing gym. I asked for price, and then I was given a price, right? Decent price, no problems. Took that price. Then I think I wanted to reconfirm what the price is because I was thinking they all work together. So I asked one of my guys to help me go and check how much it is. Then he met another coach entirely. Magically, the thing now is that this coach he met was the coach one who I met elsewhere. He gave me his prices and I couldn't work with those prices. So he ended up giving me a good discount. And I'm very grateful for it. So fast forward to recently, I've been noticing that that second coach has been sort of a little bit hostile towards me, but my coach told me to ignore it. So I keep noticing that he keeps telling his guy he keeps advising his own clients to act in a way that I feel will make me uncomfortable, and it just fucking doesn't make any sense. But like I said, no harm to me. To some extent, right? I feel like I always have this. Sometimes I take up extra, not because of I am quote unquote weak, but one thing is, I always ask myself if I'm placed in a situation like this, right, how will I navigate it mentally? Since he hasn't done anything funny to me, I should ignore and like just keep on playing. Like he hasn't done anything funny yet. Even his guy, right? His guy, he kept on pushing the punching bag towards me, but hey, ignore. So time for a certain program, which today's my first day, right? And it's about protecting yourself during boxing. So I noticed that this guy was punching hard. He kept on increasing the intensity of his punch. Now, one thing I noticed is the whole idea was to guard your punches, right? It's to guard your punches. But one thing I realized was that he will punch me very, very okay. First of all, I was punching him, right? But he complained that I was punching him on the waist, and I said, okay, I'm sorry for that, and I stopped that, right? Because I was not really getting the flow. I was supposed to punch. I was supposed to aim for his body, like a body shot, but I was aiming for like his waist because I had to reach him. I was thinking his goal was to knock my gloves off his body. So I was going for his body, but waist was what I was hitting. He complained. I understood quite alright. Fast forward to his turn to hit me. This guy kept on increasing the intensity, and I'm like, bro, nigga, like I'm literally like knocking off balance here. Because if this was like a training of increasing power, I would have known by now. And the guy who is in front of me, he looks like a heavy hitter, a powerful puncher. He would have knocked you out some time ago. So why would he just assume? Hold on, I'm coming. Why would he just assume that I'll be down for such kind of play? But I was like, bro, I think he got the message. He adjusted, but where his coach came in was his coach noticed how aggressive his punches were, but he kept quiet intentionally until I voiced out. And the guy now told his clients, like, couldn't you see how others are punching? Like, it doesn't require so much power, right? That he should punch, right? Punch. But it's almost like, because I wasn't complaining before, but I was like, that's ridiculous. And his coach saw it, but voiced out, I was like, guy, watch what you're doing because it's no longer funny. Yeah. So I think he adjusted and everybody got the gist. So came back, basically did some client work, made some adjustments to some clients program. So about to plan for the week. The one thing I think I did today was basically the new content creator I think I am following now. One is Jason M on YouTube. This guy, I like his approach to things, man. Looks maxing, because he gets the point, right? A lot of people who get into this whole looks maxing phase, they only talk about creating a facade, looking like something, looking like the best version of yourself, but nobody ever talks about actually being it, right? I think our generation is focused more on looking the part, not being the part, and that is where all of the game falls apart. As a man, you cannot just look like a man. You're going to have to be a man. Like it's one of those non-negotiables. You really cannot change it if you really understand what I'm referring to here. So it's supposed to be like common sense, where you know hold on. You know what you want to be, and you know that you have to become that thing. At the same time, look like that thing while you're becoming it, or after you get it. But me, I think I'm a firm believer on working on your being first before you work on your looks, right? Working on being that part or playing that part before working on looking the part. That's my formula. So people can balance the both of them, but the most people who are lost are people who balance it, who do it up front. But this guy gave like 10 steps to becoming him, right? And I'll just go over his 10 steps. Say, by the way, I just checked Hamza's YouTube videos, and it feels like he's back to uploading good stuff now. Because literally he's talking about how you see how this whole content game is going, right? I feel like, let me be honest with you, right? I have a deep desire to be super wealthy, super wealthy, right? And ask myself, how the fuck does all these things come in play? Like, how does it come in place? How will this get me the results that I am looking for in this life? But then again, whenever I look at something that I truly enjoy, that I can always say, if life was not about money, what are the things that I would do? What are the things that I would do for free? I coach people for free. Like literally, all of my bros have improved their lives by just being around me. This is not a way of bragging or something, and that's because I genuinely like to like help people around me. And if I can do that for people online, that would be a complete game changer. That's why for the next upcoming weeks, all of my titles will strictly be based on, I think, ideas that will strictly come from ideas that I feel like I want to speak about. So, for example, is why you should build a connection with your father. That's a very good topic. This is not a topic that I'll do research on. I'll talk about my own experiences, right? This is why I think you should become a narcissist. Because let's be honest, I think about myself. Because back in the days when I used to think less of myself, guess what really happened? People used that against me. People brushed my ego. People took me for a ride. And I tell people that it's not like thinking about yourself is a bad thing, but think about yourself first, right? Give yourself all that you need. When you're full, you can begin to give other people. You can begin to give out, because society does not want you to become better. They want you to do what the fuck they want you to do. That's one too. And this Steve Jordan feels like we have a shit ton in common in terms of mindset and shit. And he said something like, which nailed. I had to even pick up a context from it. Which he says, "Be humble in public, but be very arrogant in private." And that itself was something that I've been practicing for years without even understanding it. You see, when I'm in the mirror, when I'm talking to myself, when I'm walking with my earphones, people think I'm walking to my earphones, I'm jamming up brain rot. Yes, I jam up to a lot of brain rot music, but not of recent. But these days has been different. Like when I jam up, right, I'm visualizing myself with the people that I'm coaching, mentors we have with my students. We have like these events, we come together, we are chilling together, right? I have security team because I'm pretty popular, and these are things that I'm speaking into existence in my head. I'm traveling to different countries, literally any country. I am being recognized everywhere that I go, and I've been recognized for having massive positive impact. Massive ones. One, two is I have parents, men and women, coming to thank me, right? That's what I visualize. I'm like, is that crazy that I have like in my visions, I have like some insane amount of security. One, two is even with my kids, like I'm playing with my kids, right? And people are recognizing me and like turning it into something else entirely. So it's just like, but when I'm out there, right? I'm like, okay, all right, what's up? That is, sorry. So being humble in public is realize that you're going to die someday, right? So there's really no point being arrogant in public. It just leads to your own demise. But being humble in public is, and why he brought that number, why that thing stuck to me was because in the past I was afraid of taking compliments, right? As I feel like, oh, people don't have as much as I am, so I don't think I deserve this. I don't think I deserve this. So I was shying away from compliments, and that was doing a shit ton of harm. It did not do any good for me until this mindset shift came about, and lo and behold, it's where I am today. Where whenever somebody compliments me in public, I take the compliment. Because whether I like it or not, the people that have motivated me were people who were confident to speak out. They were confident and at the same time humble. They took compliments. Right? I'm here making this content today because friends have said they would like to see more of my stuff on the internet. That they feel like I will be a positive impact to other young men. A couple of days ago, I said, okay, fine, I'll do it. I'll give you excuses to not get it done. Right? So I'm only saying this because you might be there. You might be there in a part of your life where receiving compliments may feel like a problem. You may feel like I won't even say fake. You could feel like maybe you're not deserving those compliments, and that's a very, very dangerous mindset to have. It's almost never worked in anybody's favor. So let me just go over the 10 points this guy gave in his videos. Tip one is, who the fuck do you really, really want to be? That's a very deep question, because most people never really get to answer that question. Who the fuck, not what you want to be, who the fuck do you really want to be? You see, the whole idea of my becoming him, let me just on this. The whole idea of my becoming him is to become, I think in some way, is to become somebody who is dangerous and yet very humble. It's a curated character who is very rich, he's good with women, he's confident, he looks good, he can fight, like fight very very well. It's like he's like Batman basically. While doing all these things, obviously there are other extra stuff, right? Doing all these things at the same time staying humble, because doing them on arrogance feels like, yeah, we know people like this. Lucky James, Cambridge, he has money, now he's taking women for granted. But being humble is the extra key to it. You have everything that 99% of the men in the world want right now. You're curated, by becoming him is a curated character, right? Of looks, women's skills, social skills, leadership, which falls under which goes with mentorship and shit, the physique, something like James Bond, right? I think James Bond, and I can't think like, I think James Bond is like maybe the most perfect character, and I think I'm trying to portray, but you get the point, right? He can fight. He has good cardio. He's good with the women. Like he knows when to be very funny. He knows when to be very very casual. So that's character James Bond is what I would say. He's one of the most attractive guys. That is he's one of my curated characters basically. Step 2 says select one goal for the next 6 to 12 months. Focus on that goal. My goal right now for this year is what? To grow an audience, a very good audience, and not to grow an audience, to grow a community, right? A community of men who are basically leveling up their game. They are leveling up quick, leveling up their game fast. That's the goal. Then step 3 is visualization, right? This is something I'm already doing, right? So when it comes to visualization, is constantly see yourself as much as possible being him, right? So that means, what would you be doing if you had already accomplished those goals? And this is where a lot of people see this thing as woo-woo magic. But if you think about it, there's not a single great person on this earth who does not believe this thing in called visualization. There is not a single person who is successful, as in what I mean successful is hyper successful, who says visualization does not work. So if you zoom out, what does that tell you? It works like crazy. From athletes to fighters to businessmen to military men. I mean, it's a complete mindset shift, because now one day I may take up this board and break down this idea of visualization, right? Because I was thinking today, right, about this my entire fight stuff. What the fuck am I doing? Like, what the fuck am I fighting? And then obviously I have to remind myself that you don't want to be this guy who is just rich but is not capable of doing something, of defending himself, right? Because learning how to fight puts you in a category that you just have this, that only very few people in this world can try you. And that does not mean that you go around bullying people, but what it means is that if you know that all fights happen mentally, your mental game will be on point. You would move different. You would talk different. You will see yourself in a different lens. And the funny thing is that learning how to fight will make you respect people more than ever before. And the people who know how to fight at the same time are very, very playful. Those are usually the best fighters. It's not usually the serious guys, but the guys who play, right? They play and they fight. Because I was thinking about this idea of flow, right? My coach keeps telling us to flow in the when it comes to fight, flow. But one thing we don't realize is that the only way to get flow is when your skill matches the challenges. That is, the things you can do matches the challenges. So what that means is that if you're fighting someone, right, and you know that you have trained your fighting, you know that you have the skills to fight, you are confident in those skills, you're almost guaranteed that if you know he's untrained, you're almost guaranteed, because when it comes to fighting, real life survival skills, the game changes. The game completely changes. There are knives, bottles, there could be gun involved. And speaking of fighting, so after looking at all of this whole martial arts things, the most practical martial arts are boxing, wrestling. Because a lot of the times, wrestling seems to be much more survival based than jiu-jitsu. From what I observed, from my little experience, let me see. Is there any other thing? Maybe kickboxing, because although in street fights, throwing kicks is not really a wise thing to do, but you get the point. So I think after, by the way, after boxing, when I think I'm sufficient in boxing, right? I think instead of doing Krav Maga, I might end up doing wrestling instead of doing Krav Maga. Then four is reminders. You see, I've looked at the past. There's some goals that I set for myself, right? But I threw away those goals simply because I didn't remind myself of those goals. And in my bathroom mirror right now, I have my goals printed up there. The moment I walk through my door and I see that mirror, I recite it immediately, even in my head. I walk with that idea in my head. I say it when I'm as I'm brushing my teeth. Well, that's my reminder. A new reminder I want to set now is one on my phone where, from random times, just keeps bringing up reminders saying, "Okay, bro, you're the best," which is positive self-talk. Speaking of positive self-talk, which is later in his point, he says that positive self-talk is a manual process. Negative talk is automatic. That is why a lot of people are very, very miserable, right? They don't realize that the default is negative thinking. So you have to put in intentional effort to think in a positive manner, right? And so set up as many reminders as possible. I think all this new age spiritualists, they'll tell you to write your goal on a card, carry that card with you everywhere you go. The moment you touch that card in your pocket, it reminds you of your goals. So the more you can remember those goals, and that is the whole idea of the law of what attraction. The more you remember your goals that you are working towards, the greater your chances of making them happen. Right? That's a talk for conscious and subconscious mind. Now, it says take him actions daily. So what are him actions? If you know the kind of character you're working towards, right? What is that him? What will you do every day if you had if what will you do every day if you had accomplished him? My own version who goes to the gym every day. If not the gym, is either he's lifting weight or he's learning how to fight. One of those two things. He's creating content every day because I've envisioned myself that content is my gateway to where? To the global stage. Not tech, content. Because I feel like content, no, I know that content is the future. We cannot remove it. We cannot take it out. It is the future and it's here to stay. So, what will you do every single day? So one thing I want to incorporate now is storytelling, right? I want to be able to tell very nice stories so that so I've also envisioned myself being on stage talking to millions of people on stage live. No, okay, 100,000 people speaking live. So being able to tell stories that are very captivating is a game changer because now speaking of stories, that reminds me, let me be a little bit vulnerable here, right? I looked at everything I'm doing and said I felt like what the fuck is this leading me to? Then I remember something, right? The best marketer in the world that the world has almost ever seen at the global stage, Steve Jobs. What was Steve Jobs doing? Steve Jobs was not a developer, was not a programmer, was not a financier, but one thing was he had a vision and he was able to convince people to be on that vision. That's something that Steve Jobs had. And that was what made that is something of Apple today. He has concepts in his head, right? Now how those concepts come to reality is not his fucking business. It's not his business. All he knew was that if he can bring the right people, he can make them make it happen, he can make customers buy those products. Heck, Steve Jobs told himself that he will sell 5 million Macs. Is that 5 million or a million Macs? No, not Mac. I think iMacs or desktop computers. No, it should be iMac. We sell 1 million units. It's taking about 3 to 5 years to get it done. Right, so somebody who has that vision, right, that is not really fueled by money, is void of distractions, is kind of person that Steve Jobs is. Let me see. It says you should do a him daily mental training. A him daily mental training here is more like every single day you take out time to visualize as if you're already successful. Go on walks, right? I prefer to walk. I'm going on walks. I'm just there with myself, thinking, you know what? Okay, fine. How would it be like? Okay, I'm signing people's autographs. I have a group of boys with me. I have guys who have left the school. They come when we left the school is they've been in the community. They've come to the camps. They've come. They've gone. I'm going out with multiple guys or speaking to women. Guys coming shy in 30 days. They are super confident, super charged up. The guys who I bring together, they are linking up in other countries, right? They are getting things done. They are basically, get the point, right? So also on a personal, this is like with the boys. Also, I'm talking to very, very lively, attractive women, feminine women. I have kids. Let me again. I want to have a polygamous family, right? Multiple wives. I vision myself having a very big house, a very big home, and these wives are there. It's a very peaceful house. Like, it's a very interesting house because people come and see how calm it is. The wives play with the kids. I play with the kids. The dogs are there. Every single person there is super happy, and because of how I've been able to manage the situation. I'm not showing you things that I'm saying in my head. I visualize how I have a very funny vision, right? How I had the boxing match and an MMA match in the same day, and I won the two of them. That completely blew the man of the world. So that's something to look at. Now, positive self-talk is what I discussed. Slightly different, right? This way, you're bringing in affirmations. You are speaking things into existence, right? Now, I think one of these tips I listen to, right? I mean, apart from them, like them, Neville Goddard that says you should adopt the law of assumption. The law of assumption means that whatever you are seeking has already happened. So just plan and act, talk, think, and walk like it has already happened. And that is what Neville Goddard literally means by the law of assumption. You see, a lot of people will hear the law of assumption and they will scoff at it, saying that it's rubbish. They'll scoff at it, saying that it's rubbish. But one thing that I would say is the law of assumption is super powerful. Right, and again, negative talks are the defaults because everybody has bad experiences growing up. But positive, I don't know, no, sorry, that's not why. We have negative talks because it's easier, right, to do positive talks. Now I'll talk about why it's so later, but let's get back to the point. This is where it says that you should be humble, right? You should be humble in public, but be arrogant in private. When you're talking to yourself, don't hold back. And this is where it is like Freddie Nietzsche says that for you to achieve your highest aim, you have to be in touch with your negative side. What are the things that you truly desire, right? Now, step 8, cut out the distractions, right? Distractions, depending on what stage you are, you will know what the distractions are. Vices, bad habits, bad friends that don't want you to succeed, friends that may want you to succeed, but because they are not on the path to success, they can easily become distractions. I literally have seen people in this situation here. So cut out all forms of distraction. Whether it's alcohol, weed. I tell people that alcohol and weed are supposed to be things that you use to celebrate, and you cannot celebrate every day because you feel bored about the idea of victory. There is nobody who can succeed, who can win every single day because you get bored. 9, forgive and forget the past. There are so many people that are here who say things like, I am like this because of. That thing hits me hard every single time. You are using your past to judge yourself. And I say this in a way of catching myself too. Whenever I say something like, oh, I know it's not going to work, I stop it immediately. I say, fuck it. How do I know it's not going to work? Assumption. Okay, let's try. And the irony is that's how I've been able to talk to a lot of interesting women though. A lot of interesting people. Let's try. Talk to people at the gym. Be friendly with them. Let's try. And number 10 it says read psycho-cybernetics. You see, I like this guy because he's somebody who he's starting to focus more on being a certain way rather than looking a certain way, and that is the key to everything. Because if you be that way, eventually you will look that way, right? So I always tell people that I prefer to start with the approach of being first, right, before looking that part. Some people prefer to only look that part without being that part. So I believe if you focus on being that part, right, then to some extent maybe you get to about 60% the journey, right? You can now begin to look the part, right? So that's it. Tomorrow, I'm majorly going to first thing I'll create tomorrow is content, client work, right? Content, client work, and client follow up. Yeah, those are my major activities for this week. So yes, again, I think on Wednesday I'll be stepping out for most of the day.